A Russian novelist of the time, Fyodor Dostoevsky, pointed out the core of this problem with a question: can man be good without God? Now, to be clear, he wasn't saying that people who don't believe in God can't do good things. His point was more that if we reject the idea of God, our basis for defining the words good and bad is gone. It becomes nothing more than a matter of opinion. For example, a teacher tells some students the rules of a game and lets them play, rewarding those who keep the rules while making those who don't sit on the sideline. That's like having a God above us defining the moral rules for life, based on what's loving and good with the big picture in mind. But imagine there's no teacher. The students first argue about who's the boss, and then about what game to play, and then about what the rules are. The dominant ones take charge, and they then dictate the rules, sometimes to suit themselves, while those who disagree go off to play their own game with their own rules. This is how it is without God. There's no actual definition of right and wrong. There's no actual purpose or meaning to life. We actually get to make everything up. And therefore, those who take the power get to dictate their version of the rules to those they control. So, can we be good without God? His point is no, because we're left with no basis for even defining what the word good means. So, what's the alternative view? Well, it's the idea that God does exist and human nature is not actually good. Lord of the Flies is a 1954 novel about a group of British boys stuck on a deserted island. They tried to govern themselves, but with disastrous consequences, involving tribalism and death. And it dug at the question, is human nature good? To which the answer is no. And this is the view the Bible presents. To explain the Bible's view, the creation started with humans created into a perfect world. We were created really different to the animals, and we were given free will, because free will is needed for there to be love. We were then given the job of ruling over the earth to care for it. And these ideas make sense because we are majorly different to the animals. And we're the only species anywhere near capable of actually managing large-scale things. And we're all convinced we have free will, which enables love and rational thought. The problem came when those first humans chose to mistrust and disobey God, allowing pride and selfishness into their hearts. These actions broke not only our relationship with God, who is perfect, but also with each other and our planet. The early chapters of the Bible then give a selection of historical accounts, purposed to show how our choices as humans, as they became worse, created greater levels of inequality and suffering across the planet. So what's the solution to our wrongdoing and its mess? How about, instead of trying to fix everything ourselves, because history's already shown we'll fail, we humble ourselves and turn to the one who made us to ask him? This is the alternative approach. The Bible tells us that God is loving and good. He's patient and willing to give mercy if we're willing to come to him. And this is why he came to visit earth in Jesus, to show us what he's like, while also dying as one who is innocent to take the punishment for sin we deserved. This enabled our forgiveness and restoration if we would turn to him to ask that forgiveness and follow his ways. And it's an explanation that makes sense of a lot of things.